Hello everyone, it's good to have you here. Some weeks ago I planted sweet potatoes, the orange flesh variety. I planted in cone garden, and of course I showed a video where we did the staking. You can see how beautiful they have turned. But today I'm going to do something a bit different. I mentioned earlier that this is another cone garden. I have yams already planted at the lowest level. Then of course this second level I've already started planting yams too. But I want to do something interesting today using this. I want to try what I have not done before. I'm going to combine planting potatoes with yams in the cone garden. I have done that before in sacks, I've done it in cartons, kind of, but I actually want to see how this turns out. But there's also something very interesting that I'm going to add to this. I want to start looking at, really discussing irrigation system that we can do or we can install in our cone garden, and that is one of the highlights of today. But I'll save that best part for the last part of this video. So I encourage you to get to the end of this video. But for now, we are going to be planting our orange flesh vines at the second and the topmost layer. Then we will now install our irrigation system, after which eventually I'm going to have to stake, because like you can see the yams, they are ready. So the whole rationale behind this is, can we actually plant sweet potatoes and yams, plant them in the same cone garden, and how will they turn out? Because they have different maturation time. But if you see this is almost like 2 months that we planted the yam. All right. So, and now we are planting potatoes. Potatoes will take about 3 to 4 months to get mature. You can leave it a bit further, but at least by 4 months you should have sizable potato tubers. And by 4 months time, these yams will already be due for harvest. So you can see that the timing is fantastic, it's accurate. But for now, let me quickly plant. All right, so there's something new I want to teach us today with planting potatoes. I don't think I have showed us that before now. And that is, in planting sweet potatoes, actually I was taught by a friend. So I realized that it made a lot of sense. Sometimes we just plant one vine, and of course you get potato tubers. But one of my friends taught me, he said it is even better you combine 2 to 3 vines and plant at the same time. That way you are going to get multiple tubers, and that is exactly what I intend to do. Now in this cone garden, you can plant in different ways. You can decide to plant vertically, you can decide to plant horizontally, but I have observed that planting horizontally has a way of giving me more tubers, kind of. But let me know what you think. So I'm going to plant horizontally, right, in this second layer. So what I would just do will be to cover as much part of the vines that I have, here, and just leave a little to jut out. From there, you have some form of germination. That's exactly what I did here. And of course, you can see the result, doing very, very well. So all I need to do is just to cover. All right, so this one, good to go. Good to go. So this is another vine, although this vine is very long, but I'll still have to use it. So where I stop here, I will continue, so that I'll just plant like this. So the truth of the matter is that if you like, you can just get additional soil and add. so that there will be no exposure of the roots with time. All right, I'm done with that layer, the second layer. So I want to now plant on top. And mind you, this top is the place where I'm also going to install my irrigation system. And I'm sure you are interested, you are eager to know how the irrigation system will look like. So I have I have these vines here now. So I will just plant horizontally. So this is jutting out here, this is jutting out, and this is jutting out here. So I've planted on top. So I'm done with the planting. So let's see how it goes in some couple of weeks from now, some months from now, how this will turn out to be. Now the next step will be to install our irrigation system. You might be wondering why putting up your irrigation system. Well, even though it's around the rainy season now, but as at the time this might be maturing, there may be need. And again, apart from that, it's not just about water. You can actually use your irrigation system for fertigation. What that means is that you mix your nutrient component inside the water, so for easy distribution and all that. Now, the reason why I want to install the irrigation system now is this. This is the best time to actually install, because when the vines will start, turning out like this one is even just beginning. When the vines start, filling everywhere, plus the yam vines and all that after the staking, you may not have access directly to this place, to say you want to turn in something, but a little bit of opening through which you can get to that irrigation system that is serving everything will be of, great help. So it will be very, very important then. So now it is important that we do the installation. Now, what is the DIY irrigation system? Just a minute. All right, guys. Now, this is my irrigation system, or the chamber from where I'm going to tap from. All right, this is, of course, this is a water dispenser container and all that. It's no longer useful to me, so I want to use them. I want to use it in here. Now, first thing first, there are perforations. I perforated about 8 holes before you get to the pot, not exactly at the bottom, about 8 holes using about 5 mm drill. That's what I did here. Then here I used needle to perforate holes here with heat. So because my drill was too small, I needed very tiny holes, because the water coming out from here, I perforated about, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 holes here. So the water coming in here will serve this first chamber, and the one that is coming from the side will serve every other part. Now, when I say every other part, I'm going to connect this to this, connect this to this, and connect this. So these 3 layers, the remaining 8 holes will serve those layers. Then you'll now be wondering, how am I going to achieve that? Well, it's a DIY. One of my friends gave me this stuff for free. They are actually drip lines for intravenous fluid for patients in the hospital and all that. So, but I got them for free from a very good friend. All right, so that's what I'm going to use. You can actually use anything that can help you channel, but ideally there is a drip irrigation system that you can actually install. With time, with more financial support, we should be able to bring that to, because that's very expensive to actually acquire, but we are upcoming. So at least this is what I'm making do with for now. Of course, it has a regulator to regulate the amount of water. It has a chamber and all that. So what I did was to take this, the holes that I've poked, is just to insert this in here, so it enters tightly, and that is it. So it's good. This is going to carry water from here. And let me start with this first chamber. I mean the lowest floor. So, or the lowest layer. So this is what I have here. I'm going to do about 4 down. Now, those 4 that I'm doing, at the end of it all, you are going to see the way I'm going to connect them round, so that the water coming in here will actually go round. There's yet another component I'm going to bring up. So what first thing first, I'm just going to connect this. Now you might be wondering, why go through all this stress for this? This is not for commercial agriculture, because there is a design system for that. For now, this is just for those who are interested in backyard farming and you actually want to have fun. So, and also by so doing, you are making food for your family. That is what I am doing here. All right, so you are going to see the beauty of it all at the end of the day. So I'm connecting 4. The reason for connecting these 4 is because I know that this lower level, the lowest level, so to speak, is wider, you know. And so it is important that we get more nutrients, more water. So yes, that is that for now. So the next thing will be to connect these lower ones, to connect all of them. How am I going to connect all of them? That will be the next task. But in connecting all of them, so I'm sure I'm just going to measure. This is where this is the length. So since I have that length, I'll just cut. I'll keep this because I'll still need it. So I'll cut here. I'll cut. Keep the excess here. I'm cutting 2. And here I'm going to cut. So I have the 4 already outlined there. Next thing is this. The next thing is this. I need to connect all of them, all the 4, so that I will not have just a single line going around. And that single line, once you put water here, it means that that single line will have water all around. So from there, I can now perforate so that they can be dropping little by little. The next question is, where is the connector going to come from? I got you covered. So these are my connectors. I'm going to show you. So these are my connectors. All right. I have 2 of them here. Any one you choose is okay. So what happened is this. I made this up myself from the excess of the things I'll be cutting out from this. You don't really need to know the details here, but if you want to, maybe subsequently. So what we have here is that I have the connector such that the one coming from the top will just hang in here. The other ones below will be connected with this. So how did I get that? You see this stuff I'm cutting off? This part can be detached. All right. So that's what this is just it. So it's a two-way connector. So what I did was to drill on top and attach another one so that it will now become from a two-way and now have a three-way. It just some form of additional or a little bit of creativity. So that's exactly what I'm going to do now. So here I can decide to use this another form. It's still the same thing, but just another. What I used was this chamber. I try to connect two-way and an upper one. So anyone you can use or you can fabricate is okay. So what is going to happen now with this or with this? Anyone you choose. But the good thing about this one is that the chamber fills in first before, so there will always be a reservoir of water. But here you just have to go straight any which way. I think is fair enough. So what is going to happen is that I'll connect this one. All right, so see, it's connected. So this is the one coming from the top, connected already here. So I'll leave it here. So the next thing I'm going to do now will be to use a line and connect all. So I'm going to connect this. So now that I've connected, I've done all the connection down. So the next thing I will want to do is to connect all of them. All right. And in connecting them, what I will just do, of course, I'll look for something like this. Just look for something like this and connect more of all the excess that I had initially. So that's why I said, don't throw anything away. So you are going to eventually connect them. Connect all the excess that you have with all your connector and all that. So you see, I'm getting a long one now that will go round. Once it has gone round, you just at the end find a place of attachment. All right, guys, I have been able to go through the entire length with the line. So I'm going to now start doing some form of connection, because now you have a general line. What I'm going to do is to use this that is coming from the reservoir is to just attach them. Now at the end, we are going to see the finished product. So I've already attached this one down here. So the next thing is to look for the other point. So this is another point where I can attach. So I'm just going to, this is another point of attachment. So connect what is coming from the top. I decided to make up to about 4 points coming from the top so that you have enough water down. So this one, we are good to go here. So the last point, interestingly, I have something here. I'll just, of course, detach from here so that I can connect this. I'll connect this and I'll connect that. So you can see the lower connection is complete. Everything here. So this line now can carry water all around. So immediately when we activate, we can now perforate everywhere we want water to be coming out from, since it's already getting water from this reservoir. That's the interesting thing about this. So I'm going to do the same for this layer. I'm going to do the same for this layer. I might not show that in the video. So it's the same process so that everything will be fast. All right, guys, we are here and we have finished the installation just like I did at the lower level. I did at this middle level and the top, and this second to the last level. This other top level, there's no need for me to do that because I've already perforated under this, where the water will be dripping from under directly to this place. But this one, this level connected and all that. So it's time to activate our DIY. So now I'm actually using this like a compost tea. I'm using to fill. I've already filled up to about I've just for the purpose of making this video very, very fast. All right. So as you can see, if you look closely, you discover that the water entering the irrigation system, they are already gradually changing color. Now, the thing is this: because we have not activated the system, all right, this one, I just use this regulator. You can see the way water is entering now. It's entering to this to the lower chamber, so that it will start to circulate around. Now, this other chamber is full because here is open. All right, I need to open this one. So you see that I've opened this one now. The chamber is getting filled. All right, all the air bubbles, they'll find their way out. Kind of. Now, this system will not fully be activated until really we start to allow the water to come out. Kind of. So, what is the next step to activate? Okay, so we are sure now that water is almost everywhere now. So they will still be going down because it's little by little. So I'm going to try my system. So wherever I want, I can actually just perforate so that water starts coming out in drips. This is exactly what I'm talking about. So it just starts to drop little by little, and that little by little will have a significant effect with time. So you don't need to waste water. You see, it's just dripping. That's what I'm looking for. This is it. So immediately you activate the system, they will just start to drip little by little. So water starts flowing. So if you want here, any place you want. So, this one is just going too fast. Okay, so immediately it starts getting, because it needs to equilibrate, balance up and all that. So that's exactly what you do. You just perforate everywhere you want, and little by little your system starts to give out the water that is required. This one's here now. Okay, so the water hasn't really come from here because here it's locked. I want to open it now, so I'll open it so that it will fill up. So if I want to regulate, I can actually just use it. So you can see that the whole line now, meaning the 4 will just circulate, as in it will supply water all around. The 2 here will circulate water all around and all that. So any points you want the water to be dripping, you just put your hose. Minimal water use. And one thing you must know about drip irrigation system, this is a DIY, but it's a standard one. Drip irrigation system has one very major advantage. It helps you to save about 70% of water. You would have saved 70% of water that should have been lost. You will save it because of this drip irrigation system. We are going to be seeing how this goes with time. Now, this strictly is for backyard farming. At least we are trying to see how it can help us, especially during the dry season when you have the opportunity. All right. What remains for me in this particular cone garden is to do my staking. Like you have seen, I've already put holes here. I'm actually going to do my staking. We're not going to show that because I've showed you how to do staking in co-gardens before. So that won't be a part of this video. The major thing we needed to do in this video is to make sure that we install our drip irrigation system, we activate them, and water starts to come out to feed our crops. We want to appreciate you so far for having stayed this long. I don't just want you to watch me, and I appreciate your thank you, how you are, supporting us. But I want you to go a little further. Try and practice this and make food for your family. It may not be potato, it may not be yam. You can actually plant other things in this cone garden with your irrigation system installed. There are other forms of irrigation system that with time we definitely will be showcasing for cone gardens and for other type of home gardens. But for now, this is just one. There are many more to come. Please don't forget to share our videos, to subscribe if you have not done so, and most importantly, use the thank you button at least to tell us thank you and support more of the work that we are doing. I actually want to take this a little bit higher. There is an irrigation system that is standard that I would love to install and I will show us, but that requires a lot of fun. If you want to support us, if you want to sponsor that, kindly reach out to us. I will be glad to help you actually put that online. Thank you so much and God bless you.